Hi. Have you ever felt like I don't belong here? Were you ever in a situation where the way other people were acting, you're like, I'm not in with them. They don't want me here. It's a pretty lousy feeling to feel totally alone, even in a crowd. Uh, that's maybe the worst. One of the most extreme examples of me having that experience happened to be in Cheyenne, Wyoming. I'm walking through the downtown area of Cheyenne, Wyoming. And on the main street there was a store, a storefront, very large storefront, a lot of windows. And in all these windows are wild animals, very exotic animals, many of which I'd never even seen before. And they've all been killed and stuffed and brought back to Cheyenne, Wyoming, by this one hunter on his hunting escapades around the world, mostly Africa. And then I go inside the store, and there's even more of these dead animals all over the place. And they're being proclaimed, they're being like displayed very proudly. But I'm like, boy, this is just one humongous killing spree, you know. And so it was getting to me. It was really getting to me, like what I was seeing. And so I'm in the store, and one of the employees comes up to me and says, can I help you? In a way that has nothing to do with courtesy. It has to do with, what are you doing here? I said, yeah, maybe you can help me. Maybe you can tell me why, upon seeing all these beautiful creatures, he felt the need to kill them. And now other employees are starting to gather around. And I'm surrounded by this herd of people. And I say, yeah, I mean, why didn't you just take a picture of them? Take a photo. Why did he have to kill them? And that was the moment where I realized I was being looked at like this creature that they could not understand. And I knew I had to get out of there and run for my life, or at least just get out of there. But I just felt like, oh wow, this is a different mentality here, that these employees had, that this hunter had, and I was like, yeah, I don't belong here. It's not a good feeling, but you know what happens? You don't want the experience of being left out, or being rejected, or being misfit, or even outcast, to keep you from trying. One of the reasons I want to make a point about this is because of the phenomena in Japan of the hikikomori. The hikikomori are the young men, mostly young men. There's some females, mostly young men, 16 to 30, that are hiding in their bedrooms. It's social isolation. They totally withdraw from life. And there's a lot of reasons why it happens. If you're really interested in it, I've got a video that I produced on it because I was fascinated about it. But just basically, it's social isolation that results from all the things that converge: their family dynamics, their social dynamics, their pressures that young people are under. And these young men resort to all of this by just saying, nope, not playing. And they shut themselves off, and it's very, very sad. And what's happening is that more of this is happening in the United States and in Western civilization, Western cultures as well. And yet we don't thrive that way. We need each other. God's wired us in such a way that we need each other. And so the experience of loneliness, which I certainly can relate to, I invite you to, if you are lonely, okay, to just don't isolate. Don't compound the whole thing by pulling yourself further and further away. Okay, take chances, even if it leads to rejection, even if you feel like you blow it and it doesn't work out. Just keep trying and let God love you. Let Him bless you. Know that if you have Him, you're never really, you could be alone, but not lonely. Okay? And because I can relate to this so much, from my own schooling, my own, teenage years, where I sat alone in a school cafeteria for 4 years. And So I know what that feels like, and I'll be praying. Okay, loneliness action tips. Now, if you're the person that's lonely, I want to invite you to do a couple of things. One, take a chance. Take a chance to just really get over any kind of social isolation that you're imposing on yourself. Sometimes the best way to get out of feeling lonely is to reach out to another lonely person and try and be a friend to them. Try and help them get out of their sadness. I want you also to remember that you could be alone, but if you have Jesus with you, you have a connection with God flowing in you, you'll never be lonely. Okay? It could feel sad to just feel like you have nobody that you're special to, that you're connecting with, that you can feel really special to and connected with. That could be a very sad feeling. And we're living in a time where there's so much loneliness. But definitely don't give in to your fear, especially if you've been rejected. Take a look at how much of your loneliness is self-imposed. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay, make sure it's not something that, you're really punishing yourself way worse because of past experiences. All right, and really I want to encourage you is whether you feel lonely or you feel, no, I got a million friends, I'm great, good. Look around. See who are the misfits, who are the outcasts, who are the people that everybody separates themselves from. Maybe that bullies, maybe that torments, maybe just ignores. My own story is that I sat alone in my high school cafeteria for 4 years, and not one person came over to me. Not one teacher, not one student, nobody. One might have made a difference. Okay, but it didn't happen. And the weird thing about that is, if no one comes up to you, it's like you really are invisible. That was my game. I was the invisible man, and I can't believe I've lived to be alive in a time where there's so many young people visible, not wanting to be noticed, or maybe wanting to be noticed, but just so afraid it won't happen, so they isolate further. Okay, so look around, see what is the goodness you can do. Sometimes a smile can change a person's life. Just an acknowledgement that you're here, I'm here, we're on the same planet, and we're going through this together. You have no idea how powerful that a little gesture can be. And if you belong to a group of people that have fun and are accepting and open and God-centered, then definitely invite people that just seem to be on the outside, on the fringes. Be willing to go out there and see who they are, and you could have so much fun spending your day just looking around to see who you can give a smile for. Okay, I hope that you'll do that. I have found it to be something that gives my life a lot of meaning. I mean, having been lonely, and been alone, I always look for seeing who's out there that might be not quite fitting in somewhere, and just try to bring Jesus to them with a little bit of love and a little bit of smile, a kind word, and finding a way to connect no matter what it is. Okay, hope you'll give that a try. Okay, God bless you.